start playing, and I'll kick in somewhere. This is the scary part. In between the unrequited crushes, the beginning tastes like ocean salt, and the ending saltier still. Clear-skinned girls cast exquisite shadows on those outcast hours when you return home with barely a whimper to find rummaging clowns reassembling Eliot's musty pages. At the bakery where you last said goodbye, everyone keeps busy. Engineers fall asleep at the wheel. Mothers name kittens after Hanukkah candles. Saints and sinners rescue pillows. Fashion relics parade their pewter hair. The teeth you once traded for nickels are now third world commodities. Alligators in the sewers outlast the collapse of time. The story of temptation leaves no stone unturned.
Advice to a young poet from your uncle in Canarsie. Make your poetry a knuckleball thrown by God, or a love letter written on torn butterfly wings. Make your poetry into puppetry with light in a fog, or an anarchist's prayers carried in a brown paper bag. Bitterness lurks in the corners, goaded by suicide, but trust yourself to go 10 rounds against the failure of angels. Load up your punches with delight. Sure, poetry can spell bambino, bodega, and ballerina, then be kidnapped by a balloon full of helium. But it peels the scab off a lie and gives truth its teeth. The MC hears you, so declare love and war at the mic. Make the crowd eat their way through the floor because the best secrets are hidden under the boards. The furnace that taught your heart may have died, but go ahead, break your oath to the horizon and fly. Bastard son. You kinda wish this train was going anywhere else but Hoboken. Couldn't the engineer on the lam from his CIA daughter just jump the tracks to a place where satchels of unmarked 20s, bikini girls, and cocktails wait? No. Instead, it's another slog to Hoboken, where private astronauts and their government contractors live in gated splendor from selling swing sets on the moon. You've heard Albuquerque was nice. No shade, though. You'd miss the shade. You're as sure as that as you're as sure as staying out of Hoboken. It was always like that. Bastard son. Daddy's first and last mistake. Now you're a small man with a comic book in his lap who sadly animates the victims of desire and nails misleading information to telephone poles. It could be worse. You could readily be asking yourself how much more weight you had to lose.
Once you were a legend, calls never unanswered, crazy days at the CIA, the IRS, and any agency that counted. Always angling to become an astronaut in order to stake your own planet. In the meantime, the master of cocktails that tasted of unmarked hundreds from the president's coffers. Countless bastards claimed you as their leader. Countless leaders claimed you as your son. Who could keep track of this millennium? Your songs are still sweet, but your prescriptions have expired. Now, when you put down the phone, you ask yourself, how much more weight can I lose? What compelled you to staple telephone pole flyers all over Hoboken? Get paid for being ugly. Lust is no longer yours to corrupt. Don't be a small man on the train home to Montclair hoarding comics in your lap. Your father promised you a swingsuit on a moon, and he failed. Maybe he did his best by helping you bombardier beetles. Your daughter called from Albuquerque, a high position with the IRS. She understands the president's coffers like you never did. She's pregnant by a new programmer. You're one of the few who remembers the origin of bikinis. Once, the atoms promised to change everything. Now look around, 'cause it has. Roll up your tents, dust off your boots, freaks never scrutinize. Stick out your tongue, extinguish the pool, the sacristy's on fire. Take off your pants, finger your chin, the FBI is looking. She swore she saw Murray the K take off with her boyfriend's wallet. Trim the frost from your beard, the Bronx will always glimmer. Watch Van Gogh in the batter's cage sing Spanish to a squirrel. What the ladies said about Billy the Kid was true. He hid under petticoats often after coaxing the Red Dog's son from their loins. He'd rest in the Sierra Blancas, reading dime store novels with a grin that frayed at the edges. His dusty boots, his crooked hats, cast shadows on the noose, until one day when some great love, or its proximity, divided his bones for sport.
Coyote, your name isn't a porn star's. You've eaten the last of the lackluster hearts and come to Peekskill, where the fisheye lens twists baby photos into screaming tornadoes. The Pontiac dealership has become the museum of styrofoam mountains. The Verizon guys and the video porn couple share lunch plates on the bench and share stories of seeing you in broad daylight, voting with your nose behind a slow baby carriage, your fur the color of ash, not the fine powder of cremation, but the sticky tar balls from the incinerator that consumed Barbie dolls. You turned left at the light, but ideology doesn't amuse you. Politics tastes like old leather. Neither the police or the mayor acknowledge you as the eye of the hurricane disguised as a dog on the street. Your name isn't Clarissa, who makes a good living naked in collars. Your name isn't Wallace, who thinks he owns this town down to the sewers. You're not above roadkill, but you and I both know you're the gourmet of shadows. And the earth will love you just the same. Tempted by autumn's wine, the summer greenery will grow fat on your worry. Your heart will crush tomorrow's animations. You'll wear better shoes next time. Sweet corn brings joy to the ocean. It's a big, big sky. You'll vote with your nose and survive without plaid, and the earth will love you just the same.
There is no corner house for your latest desire, but there is a crazy duplex just off Main, behind the shoe repair and water department. 2 doors down, there's a cute little artisanal bakery where cupcakes become dreams and a toothless man rails for mints. The Dutch apple chocolate is sometimes dry. Other than that, it's a quiet town, sunny and white, where Kalashnikovs make wealth and lotto sucks to poor. The ringleader lights his flaming hoops as lost girls play hopscotch with religion in their earbuds. The way is cleared for the prophet. The riser is erected. The carpet tacked down. The faithful stampede. Bring their kids to the show. Tomorrow could be the be-all and the end-all, but it's still just a staircase, a footnote, a cheap sleight of hand God sometimes uses, then overdubs strings. Then on Wednesday, the town board votes, and on Thursday, another mass shooting.
Three. My turn on the blue giraffe resulted in this, a slow ride through vast ghettos, where virgins lose their value on the whim of mercantile kings, where men pet goldfish in the Gravesend tide, that stinks like kin from the bottom of the world. Democracy. And woe to the whalers still casting dead votes after dining on radioactive lobsters instead of rolled oats. And woe to the whores still brandishing poetry quotes after the captain sentenced his queen to paddling the moat. And woe to the sailors still singing with rust in their throats as our barnacled lifeboat sinks to the bottom of Sodom. Let us board the good ship Rockefeller under moonlit umbrellas, where union waiters serve flaming tequilas to Nelson Mandela. Let us canoodle with the Queen of Siam, whose lipstick is vanilla, while bankers castrati taste test peeled grapes for salmonella. Let us train an army of monkeys to make mozzarella, while we ride our sunken lifeboats into the voting booths. Maybe the winner will be an oily stain off the coast of Maine, or cold amoebas massing in hopes of conquering Spain. Maybe Bathsheba prefers raspberries to rain, or the captain wanted citronella candles with brains. Maybe we should celebrate the last election down the drain and cast off from shore without the dead jailers of historical lore. Hope should stand taller than pink flamingos in Baltimore. Faith shouldn't have to pay those $3 fees at ATMs that snore. Victory should be more nourishing than chocolate bunnies galore. Fairness deserves better money than speeches by senatorial bores. Go ahead, deliver your pulpit lamentations about Hollywood gore. Democracy is the pirate's art of taking more and more and more.
We all leave who we were and become who we are, with the noose not far behind, nipping at our heels. We all leave who we were and become who we are behind mountains, like love always does. We all leave who we were and become who we are, escaping down streets where the fate of fever and skin tingles in the rain, our sixth sense seeking tequila. We all leave who we were and become who we are and threaten revolution, then watch from the sidelines as the oil men fight back. She makes palm trees faint, plays hopscotch in the mesa, takes off her clothes with the moon's encouragement and my eternal gratitude, undulates towards the river like a dolphin, swims in awe.
verbs of panic. Alone in the garden, the poor clown falls from his anguish. His feet are bare, his gospel cold. Fever in skin, darken the sky, forbidden to birds. The furnace that forged his heart has gone out. His lips form the verbs of panic. The rebel bray tastes like chicken. Clouds forget their names. Heaven moves the sky for beauty. When girls in short pants vote, when girls in short pants vote, the out-of-town union guys settle in a bar and preen like pigeons. But the tornado needs somewhere to go. The rafters open their arms to the stars. The bereaved are a pain in the teeth. The yawning man can't get off his ass. The cathedral echoes with lost change. The lunch crowd gripes about serving size. The republic can no longer deny its weather, but a wink erases history when girls in short pants vote.
Let us pluck bright futures from millionaires' caravans and load wagons with cherry petals for the blind orphan's wedding. Let us paddle to the horizon in boats guided by whales and an albatross in spiked heels. Let us learn shanties from mermaids. Let us try eternity before we run out of poems. Let death be a pause button. Let children harvest the moonlight. Let nobody put rust in your needle or hair in your coffee. Let your uncle from Canarsie host carnival before he flattens the rainbow. We never heal the horizon, so let us dress up in cream-colored veils and dance to haywire clocks. Let us pluck bright futures from millionaires' caravans and bake peach pies for the next revolutions. And let's let dolphins prevail.
William S. Burroughs, brought to you by Verizon. Always bring back a nightmare at the end of your fork. Don't be hustlers of the meaningless sky who treat rapture the way submarine scavengers have been exposed by the dry sea. No secrets, no scandals. Mars is off limits. They say the German doctor made a brief examination, so I'm assigned to continual bathing in invisible ink. 1,000 gray ladies greeted the centipede. They say I read scripture to spiders and wore the borrowed flesh of the dead. No one can outthink the universal equation. Butterflies are kept in narrow trays stacked to the ceiling. Hate has no control over grammar. The vigilante wooed the Eskimo, a sincere little boy preserved in a needle. The monkey licks the difficult colors of the old West End. This parable begins with a pirate's beheading. Your sins are free to fall like confetti. Your gestures, your balloons, your air guitars have all gone up in smoke. The face you swept up in the dustpan made the trash basket smile. The scriptures remain a complicated equation. The scriptures remain a complicated equation, best left to sad-eyed lemurs who watch for the nocturnal beast to burst into blue flames. The ghost wants what every ghost wants, traveling the odorless corridors of space. Love is freed by every syllable. His morning cough syrup nuzzles bones. Many refugees find space stations an intolerable chore. The arresting officer ate Little Willie's sugar skull. One judge said to another, "Isn't life peculiar?" Phantom amputations light cigarettes. Words fall dead in the streets. Yes, always. Tangiers, 1956. Do not go blind. Do not go blind on the planet of triumph, nor harvest its moral intrusions. Its roughshod celebrations trample the meek, leave them hungry, resentful, armed. The happy hide in the Holocene, denying the land's comeuppance. Do not sing to the promise of a new dawn, for it arrives too contaminated with fairy dust tales of the forgotten, the renegade promise now shackled. Do not count on hope, for hope must start by repairing its shoes and walking its message to the towns and cities. Standing in the squares, rallying the pigeons and piston pinions who turn the banker's wheel. Don't wait on the cops, because the cops will be stalking the pennants, the pot clubs and juke joints. Bullets and tear gas will fly further than the moon. Children will fall, windows will fall, and only coal dust will be left to breathe the utopian air of colonels and their concubines. Do not go blind, free thinkers. Step out of your skirts and into the shoes of free people. The turtles are waiting, and so are the geese, for you to bring about justice and hopefully peace.
Hustlers of the meaningless sky turn rapture into milquetoast, swindle scripture, plagiarize Debussy, fill the air with patchouli. These sharks dress like reverends, cauterize the flock, parcel out slander, perjure their wives, bargain the grand equation. These cons have no memory of Hendrix, so they corner the market on all sharp objects. Hustlers of the submarine come in low at dawn, sell lifeboats that leak in plain brown wrappers. These rooks maintain their innocence, leaven their wallets with bankrupt claret. Balloon thieves puncture dogma, shower with confetti, write books about the sane, substitute rubber bullets with armor-piercing coins, smother the golden crucifix, burn our guitars and our holy songs.
Upstate. The cold wind makes orphans of mailboxes under telephone poles tanned black by autumn. The poor clown, his gospel barren, his crime revealed, hides in a country ghetto where the beggar king promises one day everyone will get to pump free gasoline and widows will no longer burn effigies. Brides will march down the aisles into the promise of cities. But for now, the mayor wears lead in his shoes so as not to fly off like a balloon. Hope dies early in the afternoon. Everyone refuses to eat any more fluff, but still walks around owing 2% interest to the fool with a dealership. The popcorn gods have left butter clogging the drains. Ballad of Cigarette Monty. There you go naked again, hanging your head on the rafters, supporting the sky, knocking the birds loose from their nesting flights. Your thoughts are spinning in untoward directions. Your brain has lost its moorings. Your Cadillac pills aren't working. On the far side of the moon, you find Hoffa. There's a parade, but it drifts like lilies in heaven. The boon never knows where to land when the lovelorn await momentum. There are cameras in your garden and microphones in the bath. There is no escape from the compound of needs, only hurried exits, brief returns, the genie obscuring our dreams.
They say poetry can't finish a rainbow, is an oath to the horizon, or a riddle that only be solved by balloons. It can repair butterfly wings with torn pieces of love letters. It's like the moon swallowed by a frog. They say poetry is a knuckleball thrown by God. It can spell bambino, bodega, ballerina, and pendulum, but hasn't stopped taking blood from the poor. So let the audience eat their way through the floor. Your tongue speaks a language you've never heard before. The beer tastes bitter. There's dark laughter from the vestibule. There's a new brand of suicide. And the MC loves you, you little motherfucker. Forget the numinous vexinity of time. Let poetry be honest, plus crime. Let the lizard's tongue smell its way to triumph. Your 5 minutes at the mic will superglue the horn back into the unicorn and pack the brown paper bag with anarchist prayers. You've got blood on your knuckles from 10 rounds with God. They say poetry is puppetry with light and a fog, so go for it, you hog. These 5 minutes are yours. Let goldenrods sing yellow with promiscuous tongues. Let asters cast aside their flagrant white hearts. Let fallen apples rot into mush that feeds butterflies. Let rain be your cold embrace. Let your lover have the honeysuckle and floating lilies. Let the mountains mourn their lost heights. You will never feel smaller than this. So go hide in the fog that some consider God spreading wisdom. Let yourself collapse like the waves that never remember the havoc they create.
You watch the wrong beauty with crime in your teeth and saints in your veins. You watch the wrong beauty, drink the dirty liquors of Bombay, and teach dawn to beggars who pray. She injects needles with the Queen of Siam and gives faith the final exam. She beat the devil at charades and swallowed the eye of a dollar. This beauty who strips to skin made of lead and lives off your lies. She will not be denied. This beauty who crushes cathedrals to make rings for wedding day fingers. The number she gave is nothing like God's. The number she gave is an oasis of zeros. Your uncle from Canarsie explains the rapture. Not a week after the Super Bowl, not an icon was left standing. Icarus hijacked the Japanese blimp to party in Cuba. Dylan sipped sake after chewing on saltwater taffy. The Queen kidnapped cheerleaders to entertain jaguars for the patriotic showing of colors no flag could contain. Then filled her moat with burning champagne. In her pantry, we stuffed silverware into our sleeves. You could smell the Jack of Hearts up to his schemes. Cash money like confetti. Forget you ever had a venereal uncle in Brighton Beach, a communist who did his pornographic dreaming in Russian. Buy a fistful of raffle tickets to treat your wife to the cyclone. At the top of the ride, fill your pockets with tiny free planets. At least one is guaranteed to feel like Florida in February. Never wear teeth carved from the bones of the last giants. Never wear Speedos in public. Treat the Queen to a Mai Tai. The rapture may come, but bartenders will be here forever.
Woodpeckers hammer the afternoon hours. Bullfrogs echo the memory's delight. Tannins lay hint to cherry and sky. Robins eat their fill of worms. Herons cast judgment. Everyone here is free. Westward flurries waltz with pine, trace little hearts, the Cherokee kiss. The clouds distill, the oaks forgive all trespass. Wisdom's rain, our soil, our mercy. Beetles will eat our summer remains. Rain is the voice of God, so let goldenrod sing, their wanton tongues rousing their fragrant white hearts. He paints these pastures with fog, his wisdom leaves apples to rot, turns the mulch, uproots the vine, gives rain's cool kiss to a heated land. The stones recollect as man marvels, mountains mourn their lost heights. So too man, as the tide rolls in, pulled by the moon to the light of day, illuminating mercy, as it rolls on out to the sea.
Genevieve holds no sorrow. Petroleum is the oldest god, delivered by trains on wobbly tracks, by men on stilts who fool themselves. The baritone is auto-toned. The double dealer dealing for God barely escapes exemption. Rewind is philosophy, and Guinevere holds no sorrow. Lazy Sunday afternoon. Neurotic actresses twirl silver batons, drop dinner mints, and drink red wine. The loan sharks mortgage your glories. Your once premised revolution has been redacted by the diet doctors who warned you of sloth. Astronauts discard their wallets into the blue-gray fullness of space.
The beginning tastes like ocean salt. So does the ending. In between, unrequited crushes, clear-skinned girls, the outcast hours spent rummaging Eliot's musty pages. Yet also Hanukkah candles, saints and sinners rescuing pillows, the baby teeth you traded for nickels despite the collapse of time. Mountains keep turning the pages. Clouds reassemble dream catchers, and alligators have not given up on the sewers. Exquisite shadows baked into every loaf. Girls with powdered hands, white since the beginning, white till the end. Yeast helps everything. The preface tells us babies in Paris have fed on the wind since their mothers stood agape at the sun, peeling its layers. The Book of Laments names everyone, but the pewter-haired none. The moon knows nudity is a virtue, and theft is an art form. Black matches everything, and virgins never lose value. But millionaires pay millions to flatten a rainbow, and the mermaid has forgotten her song. The lucky know nudity is a virtue, and theft is an art form. Black pays better than envy, and virgins rarely get blue. But the bearded hermit has breath stinking of dollars, and the women and children are the last to go. Cherry blossoms fall freely from millionaires' caravans, but all save the moon prefer sonnets written in snow. Yellow is for yelling, but green dampens the soul. Don't drive your best friend over the rainbow.
The detective is here for your shame. Your wife has woken up with barbed wire skin. The kid's iguana likes to pee under neon. On TV, the salesman pitches the Rebel Bray, a golden SUV spinning tire mud from Australia into your living room. They eat hope from your wallet, this family trapped in a terrarium. Now your mother acts all grandmotherly, reciting stolen bits from an opera. She's so giggly. Eat your commercials. They're good for you. The detective is here for your shame. You'd settle for a hard shot of neon and 0 MPG if the Rebel Bray could carry you lifetimes from here to where iguanas taste like chicken and chandeliers die at the opera. Wouldn't you rather hear Nirvana sung by the moon in a tuxedo? Instead, Sunday morning means OJ served in a jelly jar. Maybe for 3 hours extra, the detective will help you clean out the garage. The broken mower, the bird cage, the bicycle seat shredded by a raccoon sniffing salts. Go ahead. Rip the pages from your wife's revolution. Your heart has dried in the terrarium. Your wallet a dead tongue. Let your mother teach the kids to pee like aborigines. Let your wife trade the SUV for an iguana named Sydney. The detective has box seats for the opera. Your shame dies in the second act. It's a scream.
So yesterday, the cafe closed down. The V6 locked up. You left your keys at the 5 and dime. Forgot about the xylophone. Never mind the ass on your waitress. The hot dogs tasted like dead turtles. The fry cook had said, "Be careful what you recycle from sewers." The doctors couldn't handle the influx. The nurses adjusted the flames. The suspects reached for Z's. Zoe, who'd lost the spelling bee. Zach, who spat at the president. Zig, who spoke with the hurricane glee. And Zag, the dyslexic, who got everything backwards. The news at 6 had warned us. The sick are no longer a gold mine. Everything could be had for a discount at the King's Garage. For the speechwriter who injured his tongue, toys to be licked to bring back the flavor of childhood. For the lady in waiting, gowns as exotic as the singing heard over the wires. For the rest of us, yesterday's emergencies still in the same underwear. God, your name hasn't changed since it was carved in the cave. It started with zebra and ended with alligator, but TV hucksters have gotten it wrong every way possible. The president sat down between two ferns to tell us his plans got stuck in the VCR. But have no fear. Rewind is his oldest philosophy.
So what if it takes trimming the frost out of your beard to appreciate the swimsuit model peeing in snow? Don't be your uncle who janitored for 30 years at the Temple of Levi's where they melted gold coins. Don't believe in the dreams of the suicide virgins. God may steal the blindness out of your pockets, but your fingers can't touch him, not this time. Not with your sorry history as an air guitarist. Are you listening or drifting back to Yonkers where you kissed so many girls in the garage? Gloria, Claudia, Eve, is anyone still married? Now, Van Gogh, were he still with us, would he paint the taco vendor pushing his cart through the park? Why not the yellow rip in your psyche whenever you hear Kurt Cobain's fuzzy guitar and long for a kiss? The kindness in your wallet is good in a pinch, but the park is infested with Van Gogh imposters in ratty straw hats who paint intensely out of focus as if genuine feelings hide behind windshield tears. What about kids stealing kisses behind batting cages? They don't care who watches or what's in their pockets. I say, count your blessings before the tax man comes to teach your wife French. May we, my rookie, my pawn, the kids have mastered the subways. If you don't like it, you're in the wrong cave.
The mermaid lost her song and the sea went mute. No more humpback love song. Men of science have dreaded this day, but verbs move on. Unlike adjectives enslaved solely to heighten the lie that the sirens would sing forever, inducing sailors to fly the croup, ingress their liquid beds. The doctors can't handle the influx. Salesmen raise their prices. Shiny metals have lost their value. Plague is the new plastic. Paper, money, hand over fist, fist-bearing moral. Armies lay the poison traps. Rewind is the oldest philosophy, and banners promoting Saturday sales leave us all feeling misty. But verbs move on. It's in their nature. It's how we express our upgrade to civil behavior. It's also how we don't.
The King's Garage. Everything lickable, everything discounted. Toys tasting of childhood, singing heard over the wires. Immortality saved for another night's bonfire. It's all there. Altar boys accompanied by xylophones, speechwriters' laments, horses and hearses, and the Queen's corsage of flaming roses and champagne. All of it pregnant with meaning. All of it dust in Dylan's eye. Nothing made sense after the first day. No more secondhand money. No more feral affairs of the church. Weddings held under umbrellas to frame the kiss in the rain. Don't presuppose your heartache deserves to be sanctified, French fried, or set aside for a bubblegum pop tune. The King's Garage is open to anyone willing to pilfer and daydream. Take whatever you can while your brain cells are still gray. The King's Garage holds infinite lungfuls of old-fashioned air, even yours from moments ago.